The only Yakima news team taking action for you. KIMA Action News starts now.
Yakima County Sheriff's detectives have now put a name to a body found last July on Interstate 82, but they still need the public's help. Tonight, we'll tell you what they're asking. And the new Yakima homeless camp is now open. Tonight, we'll show it to you and hear from both organizers of it and people who are setting up camp there. Good evening, everyone. We now know the name of the man whose body was found on Interstate 82 on the Fred Redmond Bridge last July. This is a picture of Vicente Rodriguez Carrillo of Toppenish. Yakima County Sheriff's detectives were able to positively identify him through DNA after his family in Utah contacted the sheriff's office in September. Rodriguez Carrillo had been in the Yakima area for about a year before his death. Detectives said Rodriguez Carrillo had been dead for some time when his body was found. An autopsy was not able to determine how he died, and there were no signs of trauma. Detectives are now asking for help from the public. If you have any information on this case or saw Rodriguez Carrillo in the days or weeks before his body was found on July 15th, you're asked to call the sheriff's office or Crime Stoppers. You can provide information anonymously. Today, winter homeless shelters closed, which means the city's new temporary homeless encampment is officially open. Jordan Lyle joins us at the camp now live to tell us more. Jordan.
Thanks, Scott. This new encampment has been in the work for quite some time as City Council has worked to find a location with all the proper resources, but also one that would win support from the community. Right behind me here, you see Camp Hope. This is at the 1500 block of South 22nd Street. Here's a look at what's to come and the expectations moving forward. Being operated by the Christian-based nonprofit Transform Yakima Together, Camp Hope is a temporary solution to help those in need.
If they are too worried about survival, then they're going to stay where they are. So our belief and our hope is that by doing what we're doing here, that we'll be able to encourage them to move on in their lives. And
as volunteers and residents of the camp helped get things ready Wednesday afternoon, excitement was already building.
It's like a stepping stone. It's, just got to work your way up. And yeah, I think this is going to be pretty good overall.
Arbuckle is one of around 50 residents expected to be staying at Camp Hope, a place he says he's grateful for as he looks for a job.
Basically what my mom and dad would say, you always got to start from the bottom. Work your way up.
Camp Hope will provide residents with their basic needs, such as a place to sleep, restrooms, meals, and 24-hour security. And the dorm-style tents will allow privately staffed security and police access to check out what's going on. And eventually showers, a secure storage space, kennels for their pets, Wi-Fi for those taking online courses, and a common area where they can interact with one another and volunteers from the community will also be in place.
We want people to connect as neighbors and then move on in their lives.
Such interaction has drastically changed one volunteer's perspective on the homeless.
I have come to a point where I no longer see them as someone sitting on the road asking for money, that as I hear their stories, and I put a face to it, they become real people.
Ryan says oftentimes people have the wrong idea, assuming those who are homeless are on drugs or lazy.
But that's not true. There are so many of them who have just come on some hard times, and they're not sure what to do. Now, Transform Yakima has already had some great help from the community. Yakima Neighborhood Health was helping check people in earlier today, and then we had Sunrise Outreach providing transportation here to the encampment, as well as they will be providing lunches daily here at the camp. They've also had already $25,000 donations from $25,000 in donations from private donors in the community, but they still need your help. So if you are interested in volunteering, providing a meal for the camp, or providing any type of needs here at the camp, you can find all that information on our website at kimatv.com. Scott?
Okay, Jordan Lyle reporting live for us tonight from the new homeless encampment. Well, your car tab fees are not going up after Yakima City Council members decided not to raise them to pay for road improvement projects. The council voted 4-3 against the proposal and now have to find other sources to fund the list of road projects they approved. Carmen Mendez was one of the council members who voted against the fee, saying her vote was swayed by citizens who spoke out against it.
Absolutely powerful. We're talking about a 20-year commitment, and I don't take that very lightly. And these issues will be affecting our children.
Approval or disapproval are inappropriate.
So far, the council hasn't discussed how they might pay for the road projects, but will continue to keep you updated. Well, after almost a 2-month stakeout, Yakima police and city officials raided a property this afternoon for several code violations. Officials say violations are an ongoing issue, with many people ignoring city policies. Officials say the property owner of a home at South 24th Avenue in Meade is illegally using a separate lot across from them to store cars and RVs, with many people living in those RVs. A garage behind the lot was also being rented out, even though it isn't cleared for that. An unauthorized auto repair business at the property and plumbing contract work have also been shut down for operating without licenses.
We had a lot of complaints from the surrounding neighbors of the property. Also, a bunch of vehicles propped on another property, which is very illegal.
City officials say they've been battling this particular property owner on and off since 2009. We'll have more on all this in our full story tonight at 11 o'clock.
Well, good evening. Lots to talk about in the world of weather. Our headlines tonight will call for partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will begin to decrease overnight, which means we're going to drop those temperatures. We're looking at a pretty nice day tomorrow with mostly sunny skies, but those clouds will be on the increase as we talk about more rain on the way. Now, I'll have all the details on what we can expect in your full storm tracker forecast in just a few minutes. Scott, back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike. Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch was up to bat once again, answering questions about his record and his thoughts on the rule of law on Capitol Hill. One thing is still not clear: if Judge Gorsuch will receive the 60 votes from the Senate, or if the nuclear option is used by Republicans. Christine Frizzell has more.
The law they drafted promises equal protection of the laws to all persons.
Another day, another round of questions for Supreme Court nominee Judge Neil Gorsuch.
You're basically saying the law means what it says it means, is that right?
Tell us what your position is.
So far, no indication if Judge Gorsuch will get the 60 votes required by the Senate to be confirmed, or if the Republican majority will change the rules and invoke the nuclear option, recommended by President Trump last month.
If we end up with that gridlock, I would say, if you can, Mitch, go nuclear.
Some senators on the right say they'd rather not.
That's something I would prefer not to have happen. But one way or the other, this judge is going to be confirmed.
But many now assert a simple majority is the way it should be.
Our Democratic colleagues got together and they cooked up this idea that instead of 51 votes, you needed 60 votes just to get confirmed. I'd like to see us return back to the pre-George W. Bush days.
Getting rid of the filibuster is still an option for the Republican majority, but once the rule changes, it's likely to stand. So for now, GOP leaders seem to be keeping a close eye on vulnerable Democrats. There are 10 Democrats in the Senate up for re-election in 2018 in states which Donald Trump won. 5 of them in states he won by double digits.
I do not think that the Democrats will be able to successfully mount and sustain a filibuster, but if they do, it would not surprise me.
A Supreme Court hurdle many believe could set the tone for a divided country and a divided court. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
For local news now, the third annual Roots and Vines Festival is less than 2 months away, and event leaders are preparing for one of the most popular events in Yakima. This year, 5 music acts will perform along historic North Front Street, including headliners, the brothers Comatose and Sleepy Man. There will also be craft beverages from 11 local companies. Event organizers say there will be lots to do during the one-day festival.
This year, definitely expect some of the great craft beverages made here. Expect excellent music with our partners from Chinook Fest. And so it's a little bit of country, it's a little bit of Americana, it's a little bit of bluegrass, and just a really upbeat, fun time.
Roots and Vines takes place on May 20th. Tickets are available in advance for $15. You can buy tickets at the Capitol Theater box office or online. We have a link to buy them online at KIMATV.com. 2 local college students are heading to Olympia, where they're being honored for making the state all-academic team. Jose Zuniga and Kylie Ergeson will be going to Olympia Thursday to represent Yakima Valley College. They also have the potential to get more than $4,000 in scholarships. Kylie says her impressive GPA is due to how much work she puts into the books.
And it's just time management, basically, being able to prioritize and put things first and study hard. I study a lot.
Each student had to have a higher than 3.5 GPA and be active in their community to qualify. The ceremony will be held at South Puget Sound Community College. Well, a programming note now, March Madness continues tomorrow. That means our schedule will change at KIMA. There will be no action news at 5 or 6 tomorrow or Friday. NCAA tournament games will air instead. You can still catch action news at 11 both nights, and of course get the latest Yakima news on KIMATV.com and also on our Facebook page. And we'll be back to our regular schedule on Monday. A new treatment will make it possible for babies to be made from 3 parents. Coming up on Action News, find out about this new and unusual fertility treatment. Plus, before you reach for a pill to help you feel better, it might be better to reach for your gym bag. Find out about how to get the disease-fighting benefits from exercise. That's in Consumer Reports. And it's been a pretty nice day out there. Find out how things are going to look for the rest of the week. That's coming up a little bit later. But right now, here is a beautiful shot from our Legends Casino and Hotel Tower Cam. The forecast is coming up a little bit later in the show. And our coverage doesn't stop here. You can find all your local news, weather, sports, and traffic on the KIMA mobile app, available for iOS and Android.